Welcome back to the news at 10 and now to the arts. Visual Cocktail is in an exhibition by Bolum in Terraculture, Lagos. This artist bagged his first degree in painting from the University of Benin, Edo State, and later proceeded to the University of Lagos, where he obtained a postgraduate degree in visual art. He is a lecturer in the Department of Creative Arts, University of Lagos, and has over 30 notable local and international exhibitions. On Art Review tonight, we take a look at Bolum Visual Cocktail.
When you get tired of hearing your own name, then we'll change our story. Gouda, the ultimate.
Bolum presents a feast of paintings for art enthusiasts in his exhibition titled Visual Cocktail. A large crowd turned out to check out his recipes, which he put on acrylic on canvas, in over 20 paintings with titles such as The Flight, Smile, Pensive, The Chase, and many other works of art.
The body of works that I've done in recent times, with which I'm trying to address the present state of the nation and to pass messages across.
This artist is intrigued by people, events, and different scenes, and his paintings prove this.
People will say there are several problems or challenges that Nigeria is facing, but I have come to realize that it's just 3 challenges. Number 1 is corruption. Number 2 is corruption. And the third one is corruption. And this is what I am trying to address and to proffer solution.
He uses impasto technique and his palette knife skillfully to interpret the theme of survival, love, passion, and more.
I see Nigeria, an eagle, taking swimming lessons in the water of corruption. I discovered that back then things were not the way they are now. And I begin to ask questions that where do we go from here? I discovered years back, as far back as 1974, that $1 is even lesser than a naira. But today, $1 is about 170 naira in about 40 years. And you discover that the pressure is so much, the extrajudicial killing, kidnapping, corruption has become endemic. Then, as an artist, we cannot fold our hands and to watch things go worse than this. And as an artist as well, I deem it exigent to lend my voice through some of these works here.
And every piece has a tale to it, and words of wisdom from great minds such as Henry Longfellow, Ralph Emerson, George Washington, and many others.
If you look at the titles of the works on display, one is titled Change. In this painting called Change, I've depicted the typical Oshodi that some people will say is a commonplace theme or is an overflowed subject. But I'm taking it from another angle. And for every work, there's a quote from some of the greatest minds that I've read about. People like Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, William Shakespeare, Dr. Miles Monroe, and so on and so forth. Some of the things, the postulations that they have made in the past, I think they will come in handy to help us find a solution to the endemic problem in this nation.
You can see that there's a lot of passion in what he does. So these are just beyond paintings. There are messages that are conveyed to the Nigerian society.
Over the years, we've come to realize that it just doesn't have talent alone, it also has character, and it's inspired a number of young students who have come through him in the painting unit of the Department of Creative Arts. Bolum is a very committed artist, even though he's very young. he paints all of the time. And just a few days ago, we met with some of the young students of the department who said they were inspired to study painting because the lecturers there are practitioners. And that's so important for us in the art schools that you as an artist, is also involved in practice so that your students can get inspired by what you do.
He brings these issues to life with this performance.
When you get tired of hearing your own name, then we'll change our story. Gouda, the ultimate.
And in sports news, Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers admits he is very pleased with Liverpool's 3-0 victory over Manchester United, while his counterpart David Moyes admits his team's close rivals were the better side. The Reds enforced their superiority over the Red Devils, scoring 2 penalties and missing another in a 3-0 routing at Old Trafford. As Steven Gerrard found the net from 12 yards either side of half-time, before Luis Suarez added a third goal in the 84th minute to give Liverpool their first victory at Old Trafford in 5 years.
Gerrard is that man! And Liverpool...
Suarez squeezed it for Henderson. Oh, that's a challenge and another penalty! Within 30 seconds for the outcome of their seasons,
Arsenal's Thomas Ricic's thunderous strike after 72 seconds was enough to secure a precious 1-0 derby victory for the Gunners over Tottenham Hotspur to rekindle their English Premier League title hopes. Consecutive away league defeats had seen Arsenal lose ground at the top, but they held off a spirited second-half revival by Spurs to move to join Liverpool on 62 points, 4 behind leaders Chelsea. Tottenham were caught on the counter-attack with only a minute on the clock, and when the ball dropped to Risicky 25 metres out on the right, he lashed the ball first time into the top corner of Hugo Lloris's goal. Tottenham's third consecutive defeat in all competitions left them 5th in the table, 7 points behind 4th-placed Manchester City, who have played 3 games less.
But it falls for Thomas Rosicky. What a magnificent strike. Absolutely unstoppable. He's looking to strike Oxlade-Chamberlain in. The miscontrol pops back to him, and you just cannot do anything.
Away from sports news, after hours of voting today, Ukrainians in the Crimea region voted overwhelmingly to join Russia. Exit polls released soon after polls closed at 8 p.m. local time showed that around 93% of voters backed the move. Some 1.5 million people were eligible to vote early today, with the first results expected just as soon as they were announced. Away from the region, unrest continued in the southeast Ukrainian city of Donetsk. Pro-Russian protesters stormed the prosecutor's building, shouting Donetsk is a Russian city, and then broke into the local security services headquarters for the second time in 2 days. The US, the UK and EU have termed the referendum today as illegal and say they will not support the results. And the main news again. Accreditation for delegates to the national conference has begun in Abuja ahead of tomorrow's inauguration with President Goodluck Jonathan. The Nigeria Labour Congress has urged investigation into the death of applicants during the immigration examinations. Ahead of Nigeria's economic summit opening in Abuja on Tuesday, health, education, knowledge and discipline are examined. And exit polls have showed that 93% of voters in Crimea have supported joining Russia. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi.